Okay, I'll go. It's going to the slideshow, isn't it? So, right.
Yes, we can see your presentation. Can you please start?
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. So just let me know if any of the slides get mixed up or confused. So, and we'll begin. So thank you for that, Umama, for the awesome introduction. And Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Well, welcome to everyone to this webinar presentation today. Toxic mindset transformation. Reprogram your toxic mindset. So you can heal your life. And 1 second. Right, that's how it works. Okay, so I'm basically learning this as we go along because I have a new system that I'm using. So I'm just keeping my time with me as well, so I know that I'm not going over time. Yeah, thank you for that quick introduction. This is just a quick introduction again. I'm an entrepreneur, mindologist, researcher. Actually, Umama's read all that out, so you've all kind of heard that now. And we'll continue with our presentation. I just want to take this moment out to say a thank you to Gulf Business Network Training Center for finding me and arranging this webinar. I'm so honored to be on this list because there are some awesome speakers that you've invited to your organization, and I'm honored to be part of that all-inspiring list, and I look forward to learning lots from the other webinars as well. So thank you for inviting me. Right, everyone, what are we going to learn? So we have broken this webinar presentation down into 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and hopefully we will get through all of it in the next 40 minutes. I do talk fast, so I do apologize, but then I'm thinking about the time as well, so we'll get through this together. So we've got Part 1, which is raising our awareness level. Part 2 is about letting go, and Part 3 is about healing and transforming. So I will let you know as we go through this presentation why we are going through these parts and how they build on each other. So bear with me as we go through all of that. You'll see as we go through it, you'll be learning and healing and transforming and raising your awareness as well as we go through all of it together. So we're going to set the intention today. So I've learned from the Western and Eastern teachers in our world, Western personal development teachers, Eastern personal development teachers. So there's a few things. I know we have a mixture audience here, so you're all welcome to this. I'm just going to touch on a few things because I am religiously spiritual and I learn from my religion as well as Western personal development. So when I touch on these things, you're going to, if you're into personal development, which I believe most of you already are, you'll understand how all these are interlinked. So for the Western personal development, they talk a lot about intention, setting the intention for the day, setting the intention for what you're about to do. And from a religious perspective, we have a saying, which is actions come from intentions, and everyone will get what was intended. So here's our intention for this webinar today. I want you all to be present now. I want you to be open now. And I want you to be active now. So be present now means conscious awareness, which we're going to talk about more as we proceed. And being present means we shut off all other social media. We put our phone away. I've only got my phone here with me because of the time, but no one's going to be calling or ringing me, and that's fine. So be present now. So we're actively learning. We're open to new learning. Many of you may be new to mindset transformation. You may have come across some information. You may be on this path already, or it may be absolutely new for you. So just be open to learning something new today, which will help you in your life, in all areas of your life. And be active now. I'll let you know in the next slide what I mean by that, but all your questions, jot them down. We're going to have a Q&A at the end, so you can ask your questions. Be active now in your learning. And being active, you will need your notebook and a favorite pen and some disposable paper, because we are going to do an exercise. This is an interactive webinar this afternoon. It's 3 p.m. here, just gone after 3 p.m. here, so we're in different time zones. So it's going to be interactive, or you can use your Word document or your smartphone or whichever awesome, clever device you have. This is not just about you listening. today. This is about you actively taking notes and actively being participants in this webinar, because that is how we are going to together feel and see a transformation. Many times we just listen to things which is good, and I do the same, but it's not until we actively, as I say, knowledge on its own is nothing. It's when we actively apply that knowledge is when we see the transformation. So I need you to, if you haven't already, grab yourself your notebooks, your pen, and something to write on. And please have some water with you to stay hydrated. I've got my bottle of water with me, because in the healing part, we're going to be releasing quite a lot of emotions. And as we do that exercise, you're going to feel that for yourself. So we need water to stay hydrated. And of course, snacks and sweets are pretty optional. I'm not going to have any of those because I'm going to be talking here and I need to be staying focused. But if you need some snacks and sweets, that's optional. We're here together and we are going to spend some time together. So before we get into our parts, before I even get to about myself and how I came across mindset transformation and why I'm specializing in this now, I want us to do a quick exercise. We're just going to take about a minute to do this exercise. So I need, what I would like for all of you to do is, hopefully you're sitting somewhere comfortable and you're not driving. If you are, please pull over or just don't do this exercise. I need you all to take a deep breath with me and breathe out. You could do a couple of more of these. Breathe in, breathe out. We're just relaxing ourselves here to really get into this. This exercise is called a safe place exercise, and I've learned it in my NLP practitioner. And what this exercise does, it helps us to stay calm and stay focused throughout our day when things happen which we did not plan them to happen. So when the unpredictable happens, when some anxiety kicks in, when some fear kicks in, this exercise will help you to bring yourself back into the present and stay calm. And how this exercise works is that I would like you to close your eyes now. We're just going to do this for 1 minute. And this exercise you can always do every time after I've shown you how to do it now. So please just close your eyes, focus on your breathing, and I want you to think of a safe place, a place where you feel safe. Many of you are by the beach. I'm slightly envious of you because I live in a city, Birmingham City in the UK, and that's where I'm born, raised, and educated, and I absolutely love the beach. And whenever I do this exercise for myself, I close my eyes and think of myself sitting at the beach. So find a safe place in your head. It could be imaginary, it could be real, it could be a bedroom, it could be some place in your home or wherever you feel safe. And I want you to see yourself in this place really relaxed. So continue with your deep breathing and breathe out and see yourself as relaxed. And look around this area, wherever you are in your safe place, and look at all the things that you can see. What can you hear in this place? What can you see? Really take this in with all your senses. Maybe you can smell the smells there. What do you hear? Maybe you can feel. And now tune up the volume. You know how on the old radios we used to have the knob button where we turn the volume up? Turn the volume up to around about 50. Turn the knob up to about 50. Now see all the colors getting brighter and the safe sounds getting louder, because it's safe for you right now. You're safe wherever you are right now, in your safe place. And if you want to, go ahead and do some affirmations or dhikr, just to connect with spirituality, connect with God, connect with whatever you believe in, and really make this your safe place. And now go ahead and turn that knob all the way up to 100. And now see the place really bright, really colorful, so safe, so peaceful, so secure. And when you can really feel that throughout your body, I want you to take your thumb and your index finger and press it slightly together and hold it for 15 seconds. Just hold it down for 15 seconds whilst your eyes are closed, and then let go. And open your eyes. All eyes open? I said this was going to be interactive. I may not be able to see you right now, but this is interactive. And go ahead and spell your surname backwards and say it out loud. Actually, say your surname out loud. I know I can't hear you here, but just spell your surname out loud backwards. Okay, you've done that? Brilliant. So press your thumb and index finger again and see what happens. You should be able to get back into that safe place, what we just did. And what this exercise does is that once we start going through the presentation webinar and we talk about releasing and letting go, anytime you feel something come up, which is like anxiety or fear, or it's touching on a sensitive topic for you, I want you to go ahead and press your thumb and index finger to get yourself back into that centered place. Because the thing is, I don't know any of you personally, and I don't know the situation that you're going through. And whilst I'm talking through the situation, we're talking through this, you may assume from your perspective that I'm touching on a topic which is sensitive for you, but I don't know you personally. So I need you to get yourself in that safe place for yourself. And you can do this throughout the day, every single day, even if you have to go into an interview, if you have to go into a sticky situation, do this exercise. And the more you do it, the stronger it gets. And at the end, in the Q&A, let me know how it was for you. So there we go. Right. So who am I? Right. I am Nadia Leona Yunis. Most of you probably wondering why my middle name is Leona. It's actually my hospital name. It means lioness or brave lioness. It was the first name I was given when I was born because our parents didn't have a name chosen for us. Well, my mom already chose my name Nadia, but I wasn't named that until 2 weeks after because they wanted to make sure it was an awesome name. So the hospital that all me and my siblings were born in, we all had a hospital name. Mine is Leona, and they always used to call me that when I was little, so I use that now. And I'm the youngest of four. There's 5 of us. I have 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, 15 nieces and nephews. I'm a cat lover. Next Monday will be 2 years my beloved cat, who was 17 years old, returned to God to be in cat heaven. I still don't have another cat yet. The first time we had a cat was when I was 10 days old. So I'm a cat lover. And I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I love learning. And I love learning about myself. I want to learn more about myself so I can better myself every day, because I know that I'm a work in progress. And so are you. You're a work in progress. You're a work in progress. And every day we work on making ourselves a better person. And my toxic mindset transformation journey, I'm just going to quickly cover this. It started about 2 years ago. It started on 1st of January 2015. That's when I decided enough was enough. Basically, what I was doing throughout my life was I was succeeding in my studies and my business and my work, but I was also self-sabotaging myself. And I was repeating this. It was success, self-sabotage, success, self-sabotage. And I actually didn't know what I was doing. I had some form of awareness, which obviously helped me in my education, my studies, and my business. But I wasn't at a place where I am today, where I knew what I know today. So I needed to know why this was happening over and over again. I continued, you may be able to relate to this, I was continually blaming outside sources and others, not enough money, not enough opportunities, so-and-so is saying this to me. So, never taking the responsibility for myself, but blaming others. And I wanted to know when this all started. And I realized that this all started when I was very young, and mostly in my teen years. I had these wonderful and false stories in my head, which I made real for myself. There were many, and maybe you had many of those too, growing up. And they were just wonderful stories, and they were there to take me out of my reality that I was living. We were going through challenges in family life, in studies, as everybody does. But I had these wonderful stories in my head, and I did not realize how strong these stories were because I made them real for myself, and I was living those stories through my failures. And I knew that I was stuck in my comfort zone comfort. I like to call it comfort zone comfort because that's how comfortable it is. And it was comfortable because it was safe for me. I didn't want to, I wanted to challenge myself. I love challenging myself, but yeah, I didn't want to take on that responsibility. It was the fear. We all have fears. One of my fears was fears of rejection. So it was all these things happening in my head, and I was making it stronger and stronger by my own thoughts, thinking about it more, saying certain things to myself. And in the coming slides, I will show you how to work on that for yourselves as well, and how I worked on it for myself. So, I had to take a charge because I'm a personal development coach. I love personal development. I've been on this journey, spiritual and personal development journey, since I was 14 years old. So since the last 23 years. So my clients, I'm teaching them, I'm training them, they are succeeding, but I wasn't getting to the root cause of it. We were working on the surface level things. We were working on some form of awareness, but not getting to the root cause, which we are going to today for all of us. So I took charge and I experimented on myself. So up until now, I'm still reading personal development books. I'm still listening to audios, but I'm not where I wanted to be. So I decided to experiment on myself. And I did a 30-day challenge for myself, where every day I would say a certain statement, or I'll do something which will help me strengthen my mindset, help me transform my mindset or reprogram my mindset. And I continued this for 60 days and then 90 days. And I told my people, I'm pretty strong on my social media. So I told my people that I'm doing this challenge, and many people wanted to join. But the thing was, I didn't know how to do this for everybody because I was just doing this for myself. So I launched a brand new brand because I love launching brands. This is something I do. Passion projects turn into brands. I launched Mindset Transformation Academy, and I launched the first challenge publicly, where about 150 people joined online. It was an online program. I recently launched version 2.0 after 2 years, and I'll let you know a little more about how you can join that. It's a free program and how you can benefit from that. So that's how I decided to help people, and I became a mindologist. What is a mindologist? I have no idea. I googled it and I became a mindologist. I want to learn more about the mind. I want to teach everyone, train everyone. This is what I'm doing here today with you. And I know that by getting into the root cause of our challenges, you may call them problems, issues, situations. I call them challenges. We can help each other transform our toxic mindset. So how are we doing so far? I hope that was a little quick introduction, because I needed to give you some background information before I launch into why I'm doing this and why I'm specializing in this, because it's easy to go ahead and read information and come and deliver it to you. And I'm constantly and continuously reading every day, but I've experimented on myself, and currently I'm in month 28. So this information is firsthand by experimenting on myself. Part 1 is about raising our awareness. So we're in part 1 now. We're here to raise our awareness level. See, the thing is, if we don't know something is happening, then we don't know how to heal that situation, reprogram that situation, change that situation. So we need to raise our awareness level. So now we're going to realize and go through this and see what is happening for ourselves, each and every single one of us. Okay, so because the mind, once expanded to the dimensions of larger ideas, never returns to its original size, which is a quote by Oliver Wendell Holmes. And I guarantee you that after this webinar, you will be a transformed soul. The information that you're going to learn here is going to transform you for sure. So what is the mind? Let's get into this now. The mind. The mind is a set of cognitive faculties. In recent years, as well as, in some past years, philosophers have argued that the mind is also an organ of the body, just like our brain, just like our heart, and just like any other organ. However, the mind is seen as something unseen, basically. It's because we sometimes get the mind and the body and the soul and the brain confused. The mind itself is separate from the brain. The brain is the physical organ which has all the neurons which trigger off all the systems in our body and connected to the nervous system and triggers which part of the body does what, for instance. That is the physical brain, but the mind is not actually a physical faculty, basically. As I said, although philosophers have argued that it is, but we're not going to go into the philosophers. That you can do some research on that and connect with me on social media. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. For our purposes today, the mind is a set of cognitive faculties. It includes awareness, perception, imagination, thinking, conscious, subconscious, paradigms, and habits. And what are all these? So let me quickly go through all of these for you. Awareness, knowing something or not knowing something. So right now, you're in full conscious awareness mode. If we're not aware of something, we don't know how we can change it, or we just don't know. So when we become aware of something, we've grown and we've learned, and now we know the difference. We've reached a different level of intelligence. What's that word? It's at the tip of my tongue and I can't even think of it. So basically, when we're not aware of something, we don't know what's happening. That's the best way I guess. There's that word at the tip of my tongue. I bet you it's going to come at the end, at the end of this. But awareness, perception. This is extremely important after awareness. If you're aware about yourself, who you are as a person, your likes, your dislikes, you can move successfully in your life, in all areas of your life. When you don't know about yourself, you just don't know about yourself. You don't know what your likes are. You don't know what triggers you. So you need some time to spend figuring out who you are as a human being, and that will help you succeed in your life. When I talk about success in life, I'm talking about all areas of our life. Perception. Each and every single one of us has our own perception. We see things from our own viewpoint. Even if you have two twins witnessing something tragic or something happy, both of them will explain to you what they saw, what they felt from their own perception. Now, this is why many of the times on social media we have issues and challenges, because somebody has posted something and we go ahead, we read it, and it triggers something off in us. Either it makes us happy, we agree with it, we disagree with it. Why? Because we're seeing it from our own perception. All of us have a map of our world. You can find these videos on my YouTube channel, which explain further. We have a map of our world, and we have invisible filters in us. So when information comes to us, even you just meeting me right now for the very first time, instantaneously, whether you can see me or you just hear me, you went through your invisible filters, you deleted information, you generalized it or distorted it. You deleted information, you got rid of it completely, you generalized it, and you put it into something that you already knew, or you distorted it to fit your map of the world. Every single one of us does this. It's not fundamentally wrong about us or bad about us. It's just who we are, and this is what we do. And this is why we have many challenges in the world when one person can't see something from another person's perception or point of view, because we all have our own map of the world where we have our own life experiences. And when information comes to us, like all this information is coming to you, all of you are experiencing something completely different right now, because you're completely unique souls. Imagination, I have plenty of that. Imagination can be good for us, it can be not so good for us. You know, the stories that we tell in our head. Let me ask you, what kind of stories do you entertain in your head? Jot that down for yourselves. So imagination can be really good to strengthen what we want to do, where we want to be. Think about it, vision it, see it, believe it, and act upon it to achieve it. Thinking is something we're always doing. It's always happening, even if we're not consciously talking. Thinking is happening. We're going to talk more about that coming. As they say, who said it? Was it Aristotle or Socrates? It was somebody who said, I think, therefore I am. The dude got it wrong. It's actually I am, therefore I think. You exist, that's why you think. So there's thinking. There's conscious is right now you are consciously aware, and I am consciously aware, and I'm focused on delivering this webinar for you, making sure I get all the points to you and making sure that they're coming across clear, legible, and you're understanding, and you're consciously aware, jotting down notes, and you're taking this information in. Subconscious is what's happening in the background. So maybe you're listening to this webinar and at the same time you're preparing a meal or jotting down notes for your work presentation or some studies, or thinking about a meal you're going to have later, for instance. All that's happening in the background. And the important note about subconscious, I know I'm limited for time, but I need to get this point in about our subconscious. Our subconscious is fully open and it's like a sponge and absorbs all the information that is sent our way, that we receive from our age, whilst we're in our mother's womb, whilst we're in her belly, up until the age of 7. Our subconscious is open and we absorb everything. By the age of 7, our conscious kicks in. There's like an invisible wall that goes across our subconscious, and now we can decide for ourselves whether we like something, we dislike something, whether something is good or bad. But up until that point, our subconscious is open and we take in all the information from everyone around us, our primary caregivers, our teachers, our environment, our siblings, the media, whatever we are looking towards. We take it all in. So I'm 37 now. Many of the challenges I probably have, and I don't realize why I'm having these challenges, and you may relate to this right now, is because they've come from a time when we can't even remember. Probably when we were 3 years old, 2 years old. Because our subconscious was open, we absorbed everything. It's now part of our paradigm. What is a paradigm? Bob Proctor, he's a personal development coach. Many of you probably heard about him. He's been in the industry for over 50 years, and I consider him a teacher, and I'm learning all this information from him as well. Paradigms is the program that we operate from, our blueprint. It's how we go about and how in our day-to-day and what our current reality is for us. Those are our paradigms. And when you want to bring in a new habit, there's an argument that 21 days takes to create a new habit, to get rid of a bad habit, or up to about 60 days. It goes into our conscience, but sometimes where we self-sabotage ourselves, you know how we want to make changes in our diet and eat healthy, for instance, it goes to our conscience, and before it can go to transform our subconscious, it kicks into our paradigms. Because our paradigms are already strong, they've been there for a very long time, it's hard for us to change our habit just by doing it a couple of times. That's why we need to repeat the new habit so we can make it part of our paradigm and it goes in our subconscious. And another point about subconscious is it's basically like a computer. Whatever you tell it, it'll deliver. It doesn't know right from wrong. So if you continuously tell yourself, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at this, it will go and find all the situations and times when you did something and it didn't work out how you planned it, and it will sabotage you, basically. So we've got to train ourselves to use positive statements, which I'm going to tell you about in the coming slides. So this is something, well, this part one is very important. So I hope you took down some notes about that. Now we're moving on to types of mindsets. This research is taken from Carol Dweck, Dr. Carol Dweck, and I've got her book Mindset, and there's a couple of other books out there. I've studied her books, and you guys can go out there and get her books and audios. She talks about 2 types of mindsets. They're called a fixed mindset and growth mindset. So you've probably come across this in your personal development as well, in your professional development. So there's a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So the question here is, I want you to write this down. What is your current mindset blueprint? Because I'm going to speak to you about this fixed and growth mindset in just a moment. When I do, write down what your current mindset blueprint is, because that is a reality that you're currently operating from. It's shaping your life. So a fixed mindset is something where you do not want to change something. You say that you've been doing something for a very long time and this is how we've always been doing it, and there's no room for growth. You don't, I can't do it. It's never been done before. I don't want to do it. That's it. A growth mindset is something where you're like, okay, I've not done this before. I'm up for the challenge. I'm nervous, but I'm going to learn something from this. So let's go ahead. Those are some basic examples. And the thing is, all of us are either a fixed mindset, very stubborn fixed mindset, a growth mindset, because you've been doing a lot of personal development and self-development on yourself, or we're a mixture of both. And in fact, you'll realize that you are a mixture of both. In some cases, I've been a fixed mindset in some things, and over the years, I've realized sometimes change has been challenging for me, especially in my family life, in my sibling life, all married with kids, having their own lives. Things have changed, are slightly different to how I was always used to them. So that was kind of challenging for me. I wanted it to stay the same how it was for me, my little happy bubble since childhood. So I was a fixed mindset in that part. Growth mindset for me is where I just love learning. I'm a sponge. I absorb information. You just give me personal development, spiritual development, all this kind of stuff. Give me books. I'm a book lover. I just absorb. But we are fixed and growth in some cases. So what is your current mindset blueprint? Think about this after the webinar as well, because it will show you how you are operating currently, what reality you're currently operating from, because it is shaping your life right now. And yes, it can be changed, it can be reprogrammed, and so can your mindset, and that's what we're here to do today. So the question is, who are you currently being? Who are you as a person being? And who do you want to be? As I said, this webinar is pretty interactive, so I need you to write these bits down, because I want you, because we're limited on the time here together, I want you to do these exercises for yourselves after the webinar. I don't want you to go away just with some notes and some information. I want you to actively participate in this after the webinar. So please jot these down. Who are you currently being? So following from our previous question, who are you currently being, and who do you want to be? Now, this is not something that you just ask a 5-year-old, 8-year-old, who do you want to be when you grow up? Many of us are not even living the reality that we want to live or who we want to be. And it doesn't matter what age you are right now. People used to say to me, age is nothing but a number. And I used to disagree. I was in a fixed mindset until I got into my 30s, and now I'm 37. I'm like, hey, age is nothing but a number. So I'm in the growth mindset for that now. So it doesn't matter what age you are. Who are you currently being? Who do you want to be? So do the quick being exercise. And jot down, I want you to jot down, firstly, who are you currently being and who you want to be. So write down all the things that you want to be, who you've always wanted to be. Do you want to be more optimistic, more confident, more sporty, someone who reads more, whatever it is for you? Write those things down. And in front of you, see yourself as that person. See yourself as the person. These are some NLP exercises for some NLP practitioner. So these are some NLP exercises for you. Hence why I need you to do this after the webinar. See yourself in front of you as the person that you want to be, with all the qualities that you want to be. Put all the qualities in her, put all the qualities in him. And then I want you to step forward and step into that person, to the person that you want to be. Stay in that person for a couple of minutes. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, and really feel that person that you've just created, that you wanted to be. We're not talking about creation of the world, kind of, not on that level. We're just talking about the person that we want to be. And then step out of it and step back in. And again, you can do this exercise just like our safe place exercise anytime you need to be the person that you want to be. Okay? Oops, where are we? So we're getting into how to control your thoughts, which is the crux of it, I think. We need to get to the root cause of things. So as I said, my clients have been successful in the personal development, in creating new habits for themselves, getting rid of old habits. But we need to get to the root cause of it. Your thoughts create your reality. Whatever you think about, you can, if you think about it enough times and say it to yourself enough times, you can prophesize it for yourselves. You can make it happen. Think about the times in your life where things have ended up happening, and then you said, oh, well, I knew it was going to happen. We've all done this. We've all done this. Think back at the time when you did this, and then how this happened. See what your current thought patterns were, because you can control your thoughts and you can control your emotions. You can heal your life right now. So the thought exercise, again, I want you to write this down, but do it after the webinar. What is your current thought pattern? What is your current thought pattern? What are some of the dominant things that you say to yourself? How do you speak to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Write these things down, because therein lies the answer, the $1 million answer to your life. I'm going to show you how to change that in a minute. But we need to be, as we are in the awareness part, we need to know what we are doing. I've got quite a lot of exercises for you. I realise I've got quite a lot of exercises for you in this webinar. But hey, that's why it's meant to be interactive, and that's how we transform. And that's how I've transformed as well. And I'm still transforming, because I had to get active, not just reading, doing the exercises. So once you've written your dominant thought patterns, you will know. I want you to sit back and ask yourself, is this real? Is this really true about myself? When did this thought pattern arise? So you need to do this to get to the root cause of it, because that's how you can successfully transform that and reprogram your thoughts, your thought pattern, and reprogram your toxic mindset. Because I had a toxic mindset since my teens onwards, somewhat from childhood as well, really. And there's a misconception which we need to quickly go into so we can move on to the next part, is that we think that our feelings, our emotions cause our thoughts. However, it's our thoughts which create our emotions and feelings. So let me ask you right now, what are you thinking right now? Okay, let me ask you, what is your next thought? Chances are most of you said, I don't have a next thought. You went blank. Exactly. We think whatever we want to think. This is how you control your thoughts. You become aware of what your thought pattern is and what you're saying to yourself and how you can change that. Because going back a couple of slides, what did we say? Our subconscious, although it's kicked in from childhood, habits, there's a Spanish proverb, first we make our habits, then our habits make us. And the more we repeat things to ourselves, positive or negative, we create that reality for ourselves. So if something has happened, let's say an argument between friends, and we said certain words, and now certain emotions have conjured up inside ourselves. And the more we think about it, the more those feelings will come up, which will become part of our actions, which will become part of our behavior. This is a process that we do, which we don't even realize that we've been doing. So we've kind of been stuck in a matrix for most part of our life, and we haven't even realized that we do these things. So next time you see your friend and you had this argument, the emotions are going to kick up, and then you're going to start thinking certain things, and you're presumably assuming you're probably assuming that it's my feelings that created these thoughts. Well, what has happened was initially it was the thoughts and it was the words. And because you thought about it so many times, you've programmed it in yourselves. So now you see your friend, there's a little neuron in your brain which triggers off and sends that emotional spiral in maybe your heart or your stomach, you know, the sinking feeling. And then all these thoughts kick in. So that's how our feelings create the thoughts. However, it was our thoughts which originally created those feelings. I hope that's kind of clear. We need to do this a little bit more. However, you can ask in the Q&A coming up. But I hope you wrote that down. But it is our thoughts which create our feelings. And then obviously the more we think about it, the more stronger the feeling gets, and the brain kicks off the neurons and it becomes a habit, basically. So now you even know how certain habits of yours have come about. And now you also know how to create new habits for yourself. So why do we want to heal our mind to heal our life? So basically, to live a better quality of life. We are all created to live a healthy, holistic life. Yes, we're all going to go through trials and tribulations. That's to purify us, to make us stronger, to prepare us for our best afterlife. But we are here to live a healthy quality of life. We want to heal our mind so we can help our family, we can help our children, we can help our youth. Children go through a lot of this as well. Remember I said the first 7 years? So yeah, have a look at the children around you and the youth around you and see what they're going through. We want to help our community, help our society, help humanity. If we don't heal ourselves, if we don't be the change, how can we help others? We want to strengthen in our worship, our spirituality, our connection with God. Again, I know that we've got various people listening to this from different backgrounds, so whatever you want to connect with that. To live a life of purpose with purpose and prepare for our best afterlife. And quickly, I want to touch about the topic of purpose. Again, intentions and purpose. The Western personal development teachers are very spiritual. They do have a belief system, or they're very spiritual, and they talk a lot about purpose as well. From a religious perspective, our ultimate purpose is, if you share the same faith as me, our ultimate purpose is that God created us for nothing except to worship him. And that is found in a holy book. And then I believe that we have a unique purpose. So if our ultimate purpose is to worship God, then our unique purpose is that which is aligned to our ultimate purpose. And for me, my ultimate purpose is helping everyone make positive changes in all areas of their life so they can connect deeply with spirituality, with God, and live a healthy life. And it can come through anything. It can come through your career for sure, being a doctor, lawyer, engineer, whatever it is. And sometimes we're off purpose as well. So if you're feeling off purpose, have a look through this, and you'll know if you're off purpose or not off purpose. We are coming sort of to the end of the webinar. And I've just got 2 parts, and these 2 parts I'm going to go through quickly because the exercises, and we can't actually do these together because it's going to take quite a bit of time. Part 2 is, so in part 1, we've raised that awareness. So hopefully you've got a good, strong foundation and background of what the mind is, what's happening, how our thoughts are created, or how our reality is created through our thoughts, and how we can actively change them. So part 2 is all about letting go. And I definitely need all of you to do this after the webinar, because we need enough time to do this. And we would do this if if this webinar was longer, or if it was like a workshop webinar, or if I was in a workshop with you, then we would do this. So what we do is dump that head trash. I'm going to give you the instructions. Hopefully a replay is available, so you listen to the replay, and then obviously you can pause it and do this exercise. Write this down, and I want you to do this after the webinar. So the exercise that you do is a 15-minute exercise. It's calling dump that head trash. You're going to put a timer on for 15 minutes. So remember at the start I said get some disposable paper. Put on the timer for 15 minutes. Not now. This is your homework. Okay, so this is basically your homework, and you can connect with me on social media or email me and let me know how this exercise was for you. Set the timer for 15 minutes, and just on a blank piece of paper, just write down everything. It might be a little challenging to start off with, but once you get in the flow, just write. Do not judge anything that you write. Just write. Write all the negative things that come to you. Write down all the negative things that you say to yourselves, everything that somebody said to you. Write down all of the head trash that you've got. And all of us have head trash. We've all had it, and we all have it. Write it down and stop only when your timer goes off. And as soon as your timer goes off, even if you're in mid-sentence, just stop. Then I want you to take that piece of paper, and I want you to rip it up in tiny pieces, and I want you to go trash it in the bin, or flush it down the toilet, or if it is safe to do so, burn it, only if it's safe to do so, and trash it. Then I want you to come back, drink some water. I've just had a sip of my water, so go ahead and have a sip of your water right now, because this is releasing emotions and you need to stay hydrated. Come back and, well, not now, the exercise that you're going to do for your homework, and do the safe place exercise again, and do the safe place exercise for a couple of minutes. You are going to feel a shift within yourself. As I say, put goodness in our vessel. We had to empty our vessel, we had to empty our soul, empty our mind from all the trash, so now we can put the goodness into our system. Because if we've already got negativity happening and we put it with the positivity, it's going to clash. Remember the paradigms I was talking about? It goes to a certain level, but then it will clash because your paradigms will kick in because it's already set. So we've got to release and then put the next part in. Where are we? Here we are. So train your mind. It's now time to train your mind. Again, write this down, and we're going to do this at the end. Speak and write life into your soul. Speak and write life into your soul. Listen, if most of you stopped and thought about the way you speak to yourself, I promise you, you wouldn't have any friends. Because we are so mean to ourselves. We are so not nice to ourselves. We wouldn't have any friends. We need to start speaking and writing life into our soul. Speak it. I'm going to show you how in a minute. And write it. We need to become a beacon of light. Be a beacon of light for yourselves and everyone around us. Because we are going through a life, we're going to meet different people, and we have no idea what anybody is going through. Nobody knows what we are going through. We don't know what somebody else is going through. And just by somebody could be at the lowest point, and we could say one thing that destroys them or helps them. And yes, I know that we are going through our challenges in life, but it's not fair for us to put it on somebody else. And of course, it's not fair for somebody else to put it on us. But this is it. People don't know this information. You know this information now. So you are now a beacon of light. You're going to take this information forward and become a beacon of light wherever you go. Affirmations, or as I like to call them, positive daily statements. This is what I do a lot. This is what's helped me. This is what's going to help you. We speak and write life into our soul. How do I do it? How are you going to do it? You say, because I'm a believer in God, so I always say, praise be to God. Praise be to God, I am now confident. Praise be to God, I am hardworking. Praise be to God, I am healing my life. Whichever statement which is true for you, write that down. Okay? These are our daily positive statements, and we must do this daily to form that habit and train ourselves. Speak them and even write them down. I read these daily. I write them out daily to make it a habit. At first, it might not sound, I'm not comfortable with this, but stick with it. Stick with it, and it will become your way of life. Because when you master your mindset, you free yourself to achieve the level of success you desire in all areas of your life. As I said, I believe in success in all areas of your life. So we are literally coming to the end. We are at the end now. So now what? We've gone through 3 parts. I know this webinar has gone very fast. I think I've gone over a couple of minutes, or about 5 minutes, but I promise you I am ending in the next couple of slides. And it's important to go through part 1, part 2, part 3. We can't go through part 3 without knowing or raising our awareness level. We need to go through this. So please re-watch and re-listen to this webinar. Go through your notes again and add anything you've missed out the first time, because that always happens. Do the exercises again. Please do your homework. Email me. Connect with me on social media. Let me know how it goes, because we must do these exercises to move forward. Commit to your personal mindset mastery just the way I did 28 months ago. And even though I have challenges, I'm a different person. I know how to pop those thoughts. Another way to pop those thoughts is when a thought comes, it's like a balloon, pop it. A thought comes into your mind. Is it true? Is it not? Let it go. That's how easy it is. I know easy said and done, but again, it's practice. I had to practice it and it was very challenging for me. If I can do it, I know you can do it. Influence others around you with your daily exercises and practices. Apply what you have learned today at your workplace or educational institute or wherever you need to apply this, in your home life, for instance. Take the lead. Remember I said be a beacon of light? Take the lead and create a culture of mindset transformation wherever you are, especially in your workplace. Live and feel the daily transformation. But remember, you're a daily work in progress. You will fall, but you get back up again and you recommit to your mastery, because there is a lot to learn on this journey. That's exactly what I've been doing for the past 28 months. I'm also known as Turbo Flow. It's a rap name, and I love doing things at supersonic speed. You can tell how fast I talk. And I want now. I'm a big picture type of a girl. I see the end picture and I want things done now. But I had to commit to my mastery. I fell many times. The last 6 months in my personal life were extremely challenging, and I had to get back up. I was committed to my mastery. And because I was committed to my mastery, it started to become slightly easier and easier. So now when a thought pops up, I pop it. I'm not in my past anymore. I'm not even in the future no more. Yes, we plan, but God is the best of planners. But I'm present right now. For a girl who used to be stuck in the past and her future, who is now in the present, trust me, if I can do it, I know you can do it. Mastery and practice. That's the only way you can do it. That's the only way I could do it. And so can you. So I have a quick invitation for you, and then I'm going to hand it over to our moderator. If you're interested in what we've covered today, I do have a 30-day mindset transformation challenge for all of you. It's a free challenge. The link is at the bottom, bit.ly/30DMTC20 or 2.0. It's daily 30 daily bite-sized challenge lessons. And you get daily mentoring and coaching from me via email, because I give you homework every single day. And you can email me back with what you've learned and we interact. And this is the next step after what you just learned today. What you've learned today was an introductory webinar. The 30-day transformation challenge is daily bite-sized lessons. First one I launched, I had over 150 people joined. Recently I've launched it again. We've had 53 people joined. Join it. You get daily emails. It's free. It only takes you maximum 5 minutes to read it, to apply it, and you do it throughout the day. That is level 2. So what you just learned was level 1. Level 2 is this transformation challenge. And then level 3 is like seminars or workshops with me, for instance, or with anybody else who you want to learn with. This will help you, because mindset is everything. Your mindset determines everything. And I think you're fully aware of that by now, by the end of this seminar, knowing what we've covered, because we've covered quite a lot. Thank you so much for attending today's training, for joining live, as well as anybody joining the replay. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be part of an awesome training center to deliver this. Thank you for joining me. I hope you learned lots. You can always join me across all my social media. I'm active on all my social media. LinkedIn, you can join me. I'm taking a bit of a Facebook break at the moment. I do quite a lot of Facebook breaks, but it's always good for my soul. But Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, anywhere, go ahead, Nadia Leona Yunis, connect with me. And yeah, I really do hope that whatever it was, this information did help you. We did go through it really fast, time limit, but thank you for joining me, and I hope you learned lots.
Thank you
and
very
I'll
much
pass
for
it back to the
fascinating presentation, Nadia. Folks, we are open for the question answer. If you have any question, you can either put in the question box given in the end of the webinar console, or you could equally raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon available on the webinar console. So let me go straight to the question box. Nadia, we have an attendee, Zahra Azam. She's saying that Salam, Mentor Nadia, I'm one of the member of the Mindset Transformation 2.0. I just finished my 30-day mindset transformation challenge. It's a great to be here and hear you live. Is this the webinar also an overview of the 30-day challenge?
Yes, it is somewhat of an overview because the daily challenges basically are daily lessons. So we don't cover this information the way we've just done it now. So this was like your introduction, basically, and then you go on to the next challenge.
Sure.
That kind of,
we have, she's asking that my exams for A level are approaching and my anxiety levels are increasing as well. How do I keep my mind calm and relaxed, considering I am satisfied from my preparation for exams?
Definitely do the safe place exercise. Start it now. Do the safe place exercise because it will calm you. And just remember, you plan, but God is the best of all planners, and whatever's written will happen. We prepare and we deliver, and then God plans what goes our way or not. But remember, at the end of the day, God plans. But do the safe place exercise and keep saying daily statements because it will help you for sure. It will help you for sure.
Mr. Farhan has raised his hand. Mr. Farhan, please ask your question. Seems that you have muted yourself, Mr. Farhan. If you have any question, Mr. Farhan, can you please unmute yourself? Well, we have a question for you, Nadia, that is how we can recover the spiritual dehydration.
What do you mean by spiritual can they expand on that, please? What do they mean by spiritual dehydration? If you can just expand on that question.
I think basically he wants to ask that how we can keep our mind from dwelling unhealthy, untrue, or distracting thoughts.
Okay, so what you do is exactly what we've talked about in this webinar. And you start by realizing when you have these thoughts, are you sitting alone? Are you with people? And you have to become aware of those thoughts first. And once you become aware of what you are saying to yourself, then ask yourself, is this true? If it isn't true, then just think something else in its place, because it's not reality. So nobody is saying that you have to think these thoughts. You don't have to think anything. So when people do meditation or dhikr, they're quieting the mind. The mind is quiet. They train themselves. So when you have these thoughts, realize that there's nothing bad or wrong about you. All of us go through these things, but you can let those go. If they are not true, let them go, because they're wasting your energy. They're wasting your time. Just think about something that you want to think about. I love beaches, so I just think about beaches. I mean, if I could think about, oh my God, I'm going to fail at this,